17 finalists, 3 categories, $1 million. This is Rocket Mortgage Detroit Demo Day. What's up, everybody? I'm James Chapman, and I'm your host of this year's Rocket Mortgage Detroit Demo Day 2020. Small businesses are the backbone of our community. And that's why, even though the pandemic has happened, we've taken Detroit Demo Day virtual so that we can still support them. This is the sustain category. These are the anchors of our community who are seeking support to persevere and be sure to come out on the other side stronger than ever. And I've got 3 judges who are gonna help me pick the winners. First, we've got Candace Matthews-Brackeen of Lightship Capital. Second, Jamie Shea of Core Development. And last but not least, Delane Parnell of Play Versus. All right, the first finalist in the sustain category, Yum Village.
At Yum Village, you can get a West African peanut stew called mafe, and then you can put it over French fries. And now you've got Afro fries, which is what we want at the end of the day.
And you competed in the Demo Day before?
Yep. The first time around, I've really focused a lot on the numbers. My experience from that is that while the numbers are important, the plea to the why wasn't as strong. So this time around, I'm really focused on what we're trying to represent, why we're here, and what we're doing.
Let's bring Yum Village to the pitch circle.
My personal mission has always been to harness the delicious, unifying power of food, to connect us to one another. My name is Godwini Hintugi, Chief Villager and founder of Yum Village, African-raised, Detroit-made. From food truck to restaurant, Yum Village brings fast growth models in terms of delivery, quick casual, and retail, under the roof of the Afro-Caribbean reverence that happens when a boy from Detroit can have a goosey over French fries. First to market and the only top 5 Afro-Caribbean restaurant within the city of Detroit, we had a breakout year in 2019. This year, COVID gave our sales a hit, but Yum Village is pivoting for growth. We've been able to sell recipe kits, fresh-made juices, and house-made spices, all through our Yum Village Market Pantry. With 8 years in the game and years of experience behind us, we plan to offer Detroit a one-stop shop for all Afro-Caribbean food needs, including fresh goods, produce, and prepared foods. Diversifying our offerings gives us an opportunity to change an industry that's ripe for innovation. With your help, we'll be able to invest in infrastructure, as well as take that opportunity to grow our workforce, train and cross-train our development team, and finish off the marketplace renovations that we're doing at Yum Village. With Yum Village Market Pantry, your neighborhood Afro-Caribbean market will offer both a physical space to engage in commerce and an online marketplace to boot. Plus, we'll continue to build a brand that serves and honors the culinary traditions of the African diaspora. It's very important that we do this. There's an African proverb that goes, fast alone, farther together. Let's go far, Detroit.
Great pitch. Now let's take a listen from our judges to get feedback or questions.
Godwin, as you're thinking about bringing on, rather than just doing sort of a restaurant and selling products, what other team members or skill sets are you trying to bring onto the team to help you out?
Absolutely. So we have a development advisory board right now with a few team members. One, he's the former VP of sales for Thomson & Reuters, my partner's father, so my father-in-law, my mentor, Chef Jacques Van Staden, who is the originally founding member of 2941 Street Food. Those advisory board members are helping us to involve a team member that has retail experience in the very same vein as a Plum Market or such to help us make this transition from being more than a restaurant and being a restaurant that also offers prepared foods and does things like offer produce and dry goods.
And Godwin, great job. Before you head out, how about bringing some of the dishes over to the judges so they can try?
Absolutely. All right. So we've got a couple dishes here. I've got a curry chicken and a jerk chicken and then a vegan, as well as a couple of drinks that we made in-house. A sorrel, You're welcome. And then a jerk chicken.
Doesn't matter. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, and then we'll let them deliberate.
Delicious.
What'd you think?
I'm a pretty typical African-American eater. And so this is a very unfamiliar set of food for me. And so he was naming products and like foods that I don't know.
And then also it does become a question of market size. Is there enough of a market in Detroit for that? And I just don't know the answer.
I was a finalist in Demo Day a few years back. After going through that loss, there was a lot of soul searching in terms of like, am I even supposed to be doing this? Like, at the end of the day, I really believe in the mission. I believe in what we're trying to do, and I pretty much will have to die to stop.
All right, we got a chance to hear from Young Village. Now, let's check out Narrowway Cafe.
This is the Narrowway Cafe and Shop, and our mission is to provide the best quality coffee and baked goods experience, but in a stress-free environment.
When the pandemic first hit, just like every other business, we were having meetings every single day trying to figure out, should we close, should we stay open? We decided to then try to say, okay, when we come back, we're going to come back stronger than ever. And I think that speaks to what the city of Detroit has always been about. People always think that they count us out, and then, you know, that spirit starts to rise itself back up again, and, you know, we came back flourishing.
Up next to the pitch circle, Narrowway Cafe.
My name is David Merritt.
And my name is Jonathan Merritt.
I'm short,
I'm tall.
but there's one thing we see in common, and that's serving people. It's what our parents have taught us for the last 40 years in Detroit as a pastor at the Straight Gate International Church, and it's what we hope to bring into the next 40 years of our legacy.
3 years ago, we took a cafe concept we created called the Narrowway Cafe out of the church and directly to the streets of Detroit. We set up shop in no other place than Detroit's historical Livernois Avenue of fashion. But this isn't a typical coffee shop because we aren't in the coffee business. With our focus on serving the people, we believe we're in the stress-free business.
It's what the amazing people of Detroit deserve, and with every aspect of our business, we wanted to scream to our customers,
You're worth it.
when we opened up our first location in the Detroit neighborhood that didn't have a coffee shop,
You're worth it.
when we work so hard to create the best tasting coffee blends in like the world,
You're worth it.
and when we take those used coffee grinds and repurpose those into a natural exfoliant to keep your skin moisturized,
You're worth it. And when you invest in your community has your back. From University District to Green Acres. On March 23rd, because of COVID, we closed up shop for nearly 4 months. Now, 4 months with $0 in store sales can be devastating, but our customers gave us an espresso shot of new life when we reopened in July.
and since we've had monthly sales over $20,000 and 120 people have signed up for our newly launched subscription program, the Stress-Free Java Club. We hope to, with the winnings from Detroit Demo Day, increase our subscriber base so we can take our stress-free mantra across the world. Thank you.
Fellas, that was a great pitch. Let's see what our judges have to say.
When you guys had to shut down, was there the possibility of doing sort of service out of, just like the storefront, or was it, at that time, was there just not enough foot traffic to really have it, be worthwhile?
It was absolutely tough having to close up our shop, but that's what we created a Java Club for. So that actually got us thinking how we can actually meet customers' demands in a stress-free way of making sure we get them beans because our coffee drinkers, they got to have their coffee.
So you mentioned getting them coffee. Did you bring coffee for the judges?
We actually brought coffee for you if you guys would like.
These guys know me. I've been going to get coffee every 30 minutes. Do you see the Java Club continuing in the same light post-COVID, or do you see it something that you'll probably, dial back on a little bit?
Ultimately, we really see as the Java Club as a way for us to sustain and still bring in revenue, even if we have to decrease our hours or we have to close up shop at any point because of COVID.
And if there's no more questions from judges, then I think we'll let you guys exit the pitch circle. And thanks for presenting today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the coffee.
So I'm gonna need someone else to tell me, I need to understand what would cause a restaurant or coffee shop to completely close for 4 months. Why not do delivery, or why not attempt that? That's my concern.
And in terms of in the club too, do you get a total understanding, was it shipping a lot of that, or was it more of that local?
Some shipping, but I think it was mostly local.
That was tough, but I think we fought through it and we just kept going. And I think the judges got a good presentation of what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. So overall, I thought we did a pretty good job.
Pretty good.
All right, we heard from Narrowway Cafe. Now let's check out City Bark.
Pets are like such an important part of our life, but a lot of shopping experiences don't reflect that. So that's when it kind of was the aha moment for me, and I wanted to create this really unique, fun experience that reflected pet ownership.
Let's bring City Bark to the pitch circle.
Hi, I'm Jamie Judson, and I'm very popular in downtown Detroit with dogs. My fans often recognize me on the street and run up demanding treats, but that's the price of fame that comes with owning City Bark, a pet supply store. When I opened several years ago, people always asked me, are there even any dogs here? Yes, thousands, but before City Bark, pet owners had to drive 20 minutes just to get a bag of food. Since opening in 2017, we've been extremely successful, growing at an average of 30% year over year. And pet ownership continues to rise, thanks to pet-friendly apartment buildings, work-from-home policies, and the silver lining of the pandemic, record-breaking pet adoptions. Speaking of the pandemic, we adapted quickly. We promoted our curbside pickup local delivery service, and we created a new customer loyalty program. But as we look to the future, our next step is clear. Pet owners in the city of Detroit need grooming services. To test the demand, we've set up grooming pop-ups. The monthly events are so popular, the line is always out the door. Last week, we did our first online appointments and we were completely booked in 20 minutes. Now is the time for City Bark to go from grooming pop-ups to a permanent in-store service. With the demo day funds, we'll do 3 things. We'll hire experienced groomers, buy professional equipment, and transform the back of the store into a grooming salon and self-serve wash. I love my customers, and with your support, these furry faces will look good and smell fresh the next time they ask for my autograph.
Thanks so much for your pitch. So now we'll go to the judges. Jamie, how about we start with you?
What were you doing for the pop-ups? Was
Yeah,
that a
so
trailer, or how are you doing them?
We partnered with a mobile grooming service. So she comes into the store for a couple hours every month and does just light grooming services. So we're not able to do the full wash, the full haircut, but we do nail trims, quick face trims, just little things to get the pets by until they can go to the suburbs for an actual grooming appointment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll give the judges a few moments to deliberate.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Great
Thank
job.
you.
What do you think?
I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. Like, it's a city service that's necessary. And it makes sense that if there's not one down here, there has to be one.
I thought it showed, good initiative and hustle, trying to think through ways to, adapt, during COVID, whether it was just a curbside service or, thinking about adding essentially a new product line. So it was good to see that.
90 seconds is a very short amount of time to talk about a business that's, we've been open for 7 years now. But I think I hopefully did a good job portraying where we've been, what we've done and where we're going in the future.
All right, we got a chance to hear from City Bark. Now, let's check out Bon Bon Bon.
There's no internationally accepted definition of what a bonbon should be, which means that we really get to play with what making good goodies means. The pandemic's been an experience. We had to close all 3 of our retail stores and then became entirely an e-commerce brand overnight. It's definitely been the hardest thing that we've ever had to go through. To walk away with the funds from Demo Day would be something that would allow us to go into our busiest time of the year, and it's really a make or break sort of situation. We know what we're up against, and it's big.
I'd like to invite Bon 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 to the pitch circle.
So you know that saying, life is like a box of chocolate. Well, it's the perfect way to start a pitch for Bon Bon Bon. And it's not because we're a chocolate shop and it's the middle of a pandemic. It's because we're the only guys who are busy accurately labeling each and every piece so that you always know exactly what you're going to get. As an agricultural economist turned pastry chef, I became so frustrated with bad design, waste, and frankly, just bad chocolate, that in 2014, me and my badass team, the Babes, rolled up our sleeves, got in the game, and got busy, innovating, creating, and crafting every single day, because we believe that good people deserve sincerely good chocolate. And it turns out the good people of Detroit like our bonbons. With no additional investment, we turned $32,000 into one of the top 10 chocolate shops in the country, making over 320,000 bonds a year in flavors that Vanity Fair says only a really stoned Willy Wonka could dream up. In the face of catastrophe and the complete annihilation of our brick and mortar backbone, the same creativity, hard work, and diverse cross-section of ideas that fuels our kitchen every single day allowed us to quickly reinvent a new foundation based on really simple technology. Since March, we've shipped over 4,000 e-commerce orders, and we're not going to stop. We know it's make or break. We've been able to bootstrap up until this point, but with the support of Detroit Demo Day, we can work smart instead of scrappy in order to break out of the city confines of Detroit, break up with 2020 because we are done, and break $1 million in bond sales this year. And that's important because there's a lot of good people out there who really deserve a good piece of chocolate right now.
Great job with your pitch.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
So who's the stoned Willy Wonka? Like, who's coming up with the actual flavors?
It's our entire team. We keep a Google Doc. We run our whole business on Google, and we're able to collaborate in a way that we can share our ideas and sourcing ideas, which is really important because our staff is from all over the world. When we're ideating something around like edible flowers, we absolutely need everybody's input because the cultural context of what an edible flower is or means or how it's prepared is totally different.
So what percentage of your sales pre-COVID were anything other than brick and mortar? What do you want it to be called in 2 years from now?
Pre-COVID, we were probably about 20% online sales. And now I could see us bumping up to being about 80-85% in 2 years.
Great job.
Thank you so much. And I have some chocolate here, which you guys can have while you deliberate, because it's unfair to talk about chocolate if you don't have any with you.
Perfect.
Yeah, please leave it.
Be sure to give it to him.
More chocolate than I'm gonna need. Thank you.
Is that whole thing packed of chocolate?
They're usually individually wrapped.
It's obviously a Detroit staple, right? Like, people love it. It's like kind of a hometown, kind of like just a great hometown story. And it's good that they're surviving because we need them to survive.
Right.
But I was gonna save it, but I guess I'll try it. Delaine's over there like crushing it, so.
Elaine, what do you think?
The most fun part of all of this, honestly, has been just connecting with other entrepreneurs. We're kind of like a loner breed, and being part of this entire demo day process has been most exciting because we've gotten to connect with each other. So it's good to be a part of it, and it's good to be out of the shop and seeing other people.
All right, so that was Bon Bon Bon. Up next, we got Cooking with Q.
Cook with love. If you're not cooking with love, you ain't cooking with Q. We want people to learn how to eat to live. Like, eat a little bit more plant-based food, see what it's like. And once they try it, they don't go back. You know, you either gonna pay one way or other. Pay it with prescriptions, or you're gonna pay for your groceries. So I'd rather just pay for my groceries and live longer. My dad is one of the folks, he got COVID-19, so we couldn't see him, we couldn't do anything, I couldn't take food to him, and he wasn't eating. He was in the hospital for like a month and a half. He came home through hospice because, you know, most of the time they thought people were just not gonna make it. He came home and we started feeding him. And now he's doing fine. So my brain wants to make sure people understand how to get the healthy food to live.
Let's bring Cooking with Q to the pitch circle.
Hi, I am Q, and I am the owner of The Kitchen by Cooking with Q, located on Woodward in Midtown Detroit. We provide lunch, catering services, meal preps, and cooking classes. As a person who had to change their eating habits due to an incurable autoimmune disease, I know that the healing is in the food. Since our debut in 2016, on Fox 2, we amassed a healthy network of 10,000 new and improved healthy eaters in the city of Detroit alone. Our impact had a greater appreciation at the start of COVID-19. Instead of shutting down, our team pivoted and kept our operations going, right? Our clients wanted the same healthy meals that were prepared, delivered to their doorsteps, and we did it. We fed over 3,000 families and first responders at an extremely stressful time. Winning Detroit Demo Day allows us to increase our output. We get to go from feeding 1,500 people in a single day to 3,000 people in a single day. Our team is positioned and ready to increase our output so that Detroit is no longer leading the nation in preventable diseases such as hypertension and obesity. So will you please help us teach our city how to eat to live? Thank you, guys.
Q, first off, great job.
Lord God. Lord God.
Yeah. and second off, but before we let the judges ask you a few questions and give you some feedback, do you want to give them some of?
I literally wanted to thank you guys, but I wanted you guys to see what we what we feed our clients. So this is what our meal prep looks like. So I brought you guys a sample of today is Taco Tuesday. So I wanted you guys to get some tacos. So you guys have 2 vegan tacos and vegan mac and cheese. I know it sounds crazy, but it is a real thing.
Hey Q, what's the price point?
Right now for our meal preps are $150. And that is for vegan, meat eater, or pescatarian. It makes it like simple and easy, and I think that's why our clients love us. We don't just throw you a meal prep and say, this is the meal prep for the week and everybody eats it. We have like an intake form. They give us their information, they let us know what they weigh, they let us know if they have any, if they have diabetes, if they have hypertension, whatever they have, we know their ailments, and then we create the meals based off of what they have so that we're not just giving them food. And like our results are psycho. Like you get doctors who call and say, I don't know what you're doing, but like their A1C3 levels are like completely lower, or cancer patients who can't get somebody to make a meal that matches what their ailment is. And that's kind of what we look at.
Did you have this much energy before you started this company?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
I love it.
Q, great job. We're gonna let the judges dig in a little bit and as well as deliberate.
Thank you guys so much.
Have
a good day.
I love Q's energy.
I do too.
And
I love everything about her. Everything about her. And really, like, she understands her business inside and out. To be able to double capacity, like, that's huge. And she knows that she has the people out there that are interested. So it's just making a minor change, and she's gonna double exactly what she's doing. So cool. And this is good.
My biggest thing is just make sure people like feel how I feel about it. Like, it's not like I just do it just to do it. Like, I just want to be a billionaire. But no, I like really want people to like live and not die. You know what I mean?
All right, we just heard from Cooking with Q. Now, let's check out Pingree Detroit.
Air Force veteran, lifelong Detroiter. Joined the team in search to be a part of something bigger than myself.
We started this idea around shoes with no manufacturing experience. It was just a vision, a dream, finding core team members like Nate along the way that to really have the structure and the people in place and just keep believing anything is possible.
Instead of going to a landfill somewhere, we're able to make these great products, sneakers, drawstring bags. We like stopped our production to start making masks for a lot of hospitals. So if I feel we can do that during the pandemic, oh man, wait till we get on our feet, man. That's all I got to say.
No pun intended, right?
Right.
I'd like to invite to the pitch circle, Pingree Detroit.
It's great to be with you guys today. I'm Nathaniel Crawford II, Air Force veteran, and Pingree Manufacturing's footwear manager and co-owner.
I'm Jared Schloff, co-founder and CEO of Pingree. We are a worker-owned design and manufacturing cooperative born and raised right here in Detroit. We began this journey in 2015 because too many hardworking folks were having difficulty finding meaningful living wage work, and we saw an opportunity to accelerate the shift towards a localized, restorative, equitable, fossil-free economy.
We handcraft sneakers and urban utility accessories right here in Detroit, where 77% of all profits are shared with our team. Our products are made from upcycled materials, including car seat leather, from the auto industry, in which we've saved 9.5 tons from the landfill so far.
In June, we sold out of every one of our sneaker production runs through the end of the year and are in talks with one of the largest footwear store chains in North America about carrying our shoes. We just moved into our brand new 4,000 square feet manufacturing space and retail store in the Avenue of Fashion, Detroit, and are scaling our model of localized, carbon negative manufacturing to 3 cities in the next 5 years. With your support, we'll be able to kick off our apprenticeship program where we'll be teaching 3D knitting to Detroiters. We'll be able to secure 6 months worth of performance fibers. We're allowing us for 3D knitting, and we'll be able to bring 2 part-time folks to full-time.
We believe there are endless possibilities to take action on things that matter.
Together, let's create products that are solutions and get nitty-gritty right here in Detroit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great pitch. All right, now let's go to the judges.
What's the revenue mix between the shoes and all the other products?
Shoes right now accounts for about 30% of our revenue.
Can you talk a little bit, this is on the ownership model. You talked about the, sounds like there's sort of a employee ownership.
Worker ownership, it's both a management practice, but also a profit sharing. Right? So as Nate said, 77 cents of every dollar of profit is reinvested in our workers and our team, celebrating the success together. And it's also participation. So Nate worked his way through up, learning shoemaking, now is a manager of footwear division and is now co-owner. So we see so much value with the folks we're training and investing into can participate and grow with us as we scale.
Guys, great job with your pitch. Let's exit the pitch circle and let the judges have a few moments to deliberate.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that, the shoes were only 30% of their overall revenue.
Yeah, so I wonder if a lot of that is kind of like corporate sales, with folks doing kind of like gift bags, maybe with that drawstring bag or the folio, like they said.
I think we did pretty good. I'm real confident that I got through it, no mess ups.
You did great. I had a little bit of a fumble, but he did great. We had a really good thing that we were ready when we were talking about we were going to do a pun. We were going to say, and we're kicking off our apprenticeship. That was the only thing. We had our whole kick. We missed the kick, so that was on me.
Okay, that was Pingree, Detroit. Now, let's hear from the Peacock Room.
When I opened the Peacock Room about 10 years ago, I really wanted a space where women could come in and feel beautiful, feel listened to, feel heard. This is my first time applying to Demo Day. We've never applied for any community help, but this year, because of COVID, we definitely need it to continue into the next season.
How have you been affected by COVID?
Sorry. I think I'm all right. Yeah, like in the beginning, I lost, 3 friends like within 2 weeks, and then a 4th over the summer, and then my grandpa just got diagnosed. So, sorry. So when COVID hit, it wasn't just a huge emotional impact on the city. I lost friends. It was also, all of my small business owners all of a sudden were just in this tailspin. Everything just screeched to a halt. If we are able to get capital to move into the next season, that's really all we need to make it.
Up next, the Peacock Room.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Rachel Lutz. I'm the owner of the Peacock Room. We dress the who's who of Detroit, from celebrities to elected officials to, really most importantly, everyday Detroiters. The Peacock Room is not just a boutique. It's really an important safe space for women, and our fitting rooms are places of meaningful connection, which we need now more than ever. We are our customers' confidants, trusted cheerleaders, and coaches. So against my better judgment, I opened a retail store in Detroit 10 years ago. I maxed out a $1,500 credit card. I've grown that to 4 locations that now do over $1 million a year in revenue and employ 20 women. Then COVID hit. We got in all this amazing spring summer merchandise, and within days, we were forced into closure for 5 months. That spring summer inventory aged. We've had to sell it at a loss. So now that didn't leave us the important capital that we need to buy inventory for the make or break holiday season. but I have found our way forward. I've been hosting Facebook Live shows that are a combination of QVC, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and Oprah's Favorite Things. They've been wildly successful with our 15,000 Facebook followers. They've actually been driving more foot traffic into the brick and mortars, which is still very important to me. I want to be able to look back at 2020 and not just survive. I want to know that we innovated the way that we needed to, and we came out a stronger business than before. With your help, we can continue into the holiday season, and we can keep Detroit the style capital that it is.
Rachel, great job with your pitch.
Thank you.
So now let's toss it to the judges for some feedback.
Outside of the virtual events that you do through Facebook Live, do you all have an e-commerce presence?
So an e-commerce website is important, but it's also very static. It's not very interactive. So instead of a boutique feel where things are very special and you only get one or a few of something, we'd have to go deep with our inventory. We'd have to, do the infrastructure of the website. That's not inexpensive. So that is in our plans, but the live actually allows for engagement. It allows for banter, and we can still answer interactive questions. You just don't get that through a website.
So you had 4 stores prior to the health pandemic. And what were you thinking at that time, prior to the pandemic, in terms of your next steps? Were you thinking about opening more? Were you sort of happy with what you had? What were your...
Our commitment is always staying in the Detroit neighborhoods that we're in. We had no interest in further expanding the brick and mortar presence.
Rachel, great job with your pitch. You can now exit the pitch circle and we'll let the judges deliberate.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
I'm deeply concerned about the lack of adaptability with switching to an e-commerce presence, in addition to the virtual shows, which seem, like they've been successful, but, to not start up an e-commerce part of the site to just sell product, seems like a founder with strong resistance to the future.
Yeah, I understand that kind of intimate connection that women have with their clothes and how they fit and how they look. That's for some women. It's not for all women. So how do you serve more women, from your space?
I'm hoping I did great. I mean, with the sustain category, this is really do or die for a lot of us. So I really hope that all of us did great.
All right, now let's welcome the sustain category back to the pitch circle. All right, this category is a little different. We've got 5 different awards, all of equal value. Jamie's gonna tell us who's walking away with the cash. Jamie, who we got?
So, kudos to all of you for, figuring out a way to not only survive, but thrive during a very, very difficult business environment. But as James said, we've got to choose 5. So without further ado, here we go in no particular order. Number 1, cooking with Q. So I expect that enthusiasm from everyone moving forward. Yeah. The next winner, Pingree, Detroit.
Great job, fellas. Great job. Congratulations. Congratulations. Absolutely.
Third winner, which will be a favorite for all of our canine lovers in the city, City Bark.
Great job. Absolutely.
4, Bon Bon Bon.
Congratulations.
And last, but certainly not least, Yum Village.
Congratulations to all of the winners, but there's more. Nobody's walking away empty-handed. So regardless of if you won $50,000 or not, if you didn't, you're still walking away with $10,000 for your business. Congratulations to all finalists. You all were great. You did fantastic with your pitches. Please now exit the pitch circle.
Congratulations,
Great job.
guys.
Congratulations, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You now have the opportunity to help your favorite company in the sustain category to walk away with $25,000 with the People's Choice Grant. So start voting. Also, tune back in on October 28th to see who won. Stay tuned because we've got more pitches in the build category coming up next.